Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, as I'm choking. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista, here on YouTube, and today is a face-to-face chat, and we are going to talk about the worst holiday parties in this article that I have, following with the holiday trend. So today would have been my grandmother's 91st birthday, so I hope if there is a heaven that she's having a good time. And, every year for the past couple of years, it's been a long time, when I would buy my grandmother a birthday present, I would get her, she used to like the jumbo word searches and the chocolate covered cherries with the clear center. Not the white center, had to be the clear. And Bill is the same way. So I got him a box of them as part of his Christmas present. So, one of my, obviously I have many memories of my grandmother because, they were just our saving grace when we were kids. I was over there every weekend. I went to bingo with her every Friday from the time I was like, I want to say 7 or 8 years old until I was 15. I mean, a long time. And then even as an adult, I would go with her. But yeah, we stayed over there every weekend, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. Because at that time, we had dinner at my grandparents' house every Sunday. And then once I got to be older, like, I don't know, 16, 17, it went to like once a month because it just got to be too much for them to do it. But I remember Saturday nights playing Crazy Eights with my grandmother, and we would go to Rock and Bowl, her and I. It was like 12 midnight till 3 in the morning. We would do that. My grandmother was a fantastic bowler. And I still have her bowling shirt, that she wore a long, long time ago. But two of my best memories of her were when I moved into my apartment. When I separated from my first husband, I lived with my mom for 6 months. And then I was able to get my apartment, and then I lived in Hagerstown, and then I moved back here. And when I moved back here with like a chair and my desk. Like I literally just didn't have anything because the guy I was with, he still stayed in the apartment, and I just said, just keep all the furniture. Like, I'm just not someone that like needs a bunch of stuff. Like if I'm starting over, I got no problem starting over, right? And I just broke my fingernail, so now I need to cut that. So I had I didn't have a dining room per se. I had a kitchen that had the washer and dryer in it. Kitchen was pretty big. Kitchen that had a washer and dryer in it, but there was room for like a little bistro table and chairs. And when I was at AC Moore, when they were still open one time, they had this table and chairs that was like $80. And it was like, it reminded me of like mosaic tile. It was really pretty. And my grandmother had actually just won $1,000 at bingo, and I happened to be over there and just talking to her, and she gave me $80 for the table set. Yeah. She did stuff like that. And so I always remember that, but probably one of my most favorite ever memories of her is when my brother didn't stay all the time every weekend. I did. Sometimes he would, but sometimes he wouldn't. We would sleep on pool rafts in their bedroom on the floor because they didn't have, extra beds, extra rooms. My brother had Nintendo, and he brought it over, and we had rented, you could rent like games at the video store, right? And we stayed up until like 4 in the morning playing these games. My grandmother stayed up with us, and we played, I remember this game, it was the Three Stooges. And I just remember we were laughing so hard because you had to go really fast in this one part, and she couldn't do it. As my grandmother got towards the end of her life, things weren't good for her. And, her mind went, she didn't really know anybody at the end. And I just hope, though, that really at the end, she didn't realize my grandfather had passed. And I don't know, it makes me hopeful that if there is a heaven, that she's there with him, you know, and with all her siblings, because all of her siblings passed before her except one. There's still one still alive. And you know what you also hope? You also hope that if there's a heaven, that you go there and you're in the body where you were like in the prime of your life, where you look the best and you don't have any sickness, and you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Like that's what I hope it's like. But yeah, I've always wanted to know my grandparents, you know, when they were in like their 30s or my age. You know, how were they? You know, I've seen pictures and it makes me think, what am I going to look like when I'm that old, right? But anyway, okay, so happy birthday to Gran, right? So, I received, so let's talk about Buy Me a Coffee for a second. So I have taken the link off of my link tree. They are stopping support by being able to accept payments through PayPal at the end of December. And so what's nice though is Linktree lets you link directly to PayPal, directly to your PayPal. So I already have something on there that says if you want to support my channel, I think it's the first link in there, and you can give 5, 10 or whatever. You can give whatever you want. So if you want to support me, PayPal takes the least of anybody. They only take like 3.5% or something like that. So just to let you know, because I did have Karen Campbell, she sent me $20 through PayPal. So Karen, thank you very much. That is very, very much appreciated. And she had sent me an email saying that something was wrong with the Buy Me a Coffee thing. So yeah, they're only like letting you accept payments now through Stripe or something. And I'm like, why are all these companies leaving PayPal? And I'm guessing it's because of fees. It's got to be money, right? Oh, before we get into the holiday parties though, these are stories that people sent in. I want to show you something that I found on Amazon that, oh my God. So I love the Cadbury caramel eggs at Easter time. I love anything caramel, like chocolate covered caramel, all that kind of stuff. I was on there like on Amazon looking for candy, something to have at night, maybe like a sweet something. And I came upon this caramel spread. Now, I'm thinking this is like Nutella, right? When I look in the comments, people are like, oh my God, this is like the best thing ever. Now, it looks like this is the caramel egg, right? So I got it today. Look at that. I've already eaten like 2 spoonfuls of it. It tastes like a caramel egg. I fucking shit you not. This also, the smell of it, have you ever had the microwave popcorn by Orville Redenbacher that is caramel? Where you have like the caramel block that you melt over the popcorn after you've popped the popcorn. My mom and I used to love that, and it's really hard to find it. I used to be able to find it at Walmart. This caramel smells and tastes like that caramel. This would be fantastic because it's got like some chocolate mixed in. This would be fantastic. Melted and poured over popcorn. Oh my God, I have to try it. So I will link this down below because I got it from Amazon. And I want to say it's like an import from the UK. Like they do not sell this in the US in grocery stores. Oh my God. And this is glass. This is a glass bottle. It came wrapped in a lot of bubble wrap and then it was sealed. So good. That stuff's gonna be fucking dangerous. Like I'm gonna have to be put up in a cabinet, 1 spoonful, right? If you really want something like sweet. But I'm gonna have Bill try. Yeah, it tastes like a caramel egg. Okay. Because life is too short, man, to not have treats. I surely have learned that. All right. So this is, again, from the Huffington Post, and it's 8 of the most memorably bad and funny office holiday party stories. So if you have a good office holiday party story, leave it in the comments section below. I did work outside of the house for a couple years before I did what I do now. And none of our parties were memorable. Not by a long shot. All right. So as the holiday season, now the article, I want to give credit to the person. The article is by Monica Torres. And this article was written on December 6th, so it was only written on Monday. So as the holiday season begins, so do corporate holiday parties. But unlike other December celebrations, your company's version of fun may entail bad DJs, stale catering, and endless small talk with coworkers you would prefer to forget. We used to, because I worked at 2 different law firms before I did what I do now. One of them, we used to watch Christmas movies, and they gave us a Christmas bonus and like a little luncheon. But the other one would take us out to lunch, and then we would have a short day that day. Yeah, nothing like at night having a party, nothing like that. So, and as alcohol flows, inhibitions lower and create nightmare scenarios. Now, about almost 7 in 10 respondents in a recent one poll survey think too much alcohol is served at holiday office parties, and almost 74% said that they purposely limit how much alcohol they drink at these events. Yeah, might be a smart idea. But that effort has its limits, as 56% say they've worried they might be fired following their company holiday party. 56%? So here below, people recount the events that made their holiday parties horribly, awkwardly memorable. Many asked for anonymity to share their tales of debauchery and corporate mishaps on the company's dime. So their stories were lightly edited for clarity and length, because people can probably blah, blah, blah. So here are the 8 in the article. So this one is called The Employees Who Passed Out in Her Boss's Arms. Good night. When I was 25 or so, I got so drunk in my work's Christmas party that I fell off a stool, hit my head, and passed out. I came to crying outside in my boss's arms while his boss called me an Uber home. Ooh, that's not good. And that person is from D.C., Washington, D.C. All right, number 2 is called The Vomit-Filled Hijinks at the Boss's House. Oh, Lordy. Not my holiday party, but my husband's. His married bosses had it at their house for many, many years. One co-worker showed up 2 hours late, completely wasted. How'd they drive? Missed dinner, was in the entryway for 5 minutes before he puked everywhere. Couch, floor, walls, TV, lamp, etc., all covered in it. Ugh. His date was mortified, got a cab for them, and they left a whole 20 minutes after they arrived. You would think that would have been enough to stop having the holiday party at the boss's house, but no. The very next year, they have it there again, and a different coworker gets wasted and tries to hook up with their kid's nanny in their 4-year-old's bed. The kid was not home that night, thankfully. The fuck? A cab gets called to take them home, and from what we were told, they were making out in the back of the cab when one of them got sick mid-makeout, like in the other's mouth. Ah! No! Unfortunately, my husband has since moved on to a new company, and now his holiday parties are lame in comparison. Wow. All right, number 3, the coworker who saw a sight they would rather forget. The worst I've seen, 2 drunk executives who each unzipped his fly, took out his penis, and lay it on the table to measure whose was actually bigger. Eye bleach needed. No, they did not. What? Who would do that? No. Number 4, the staff trapped in a Zoom party for 3.5 hours. One of the primary managers in this company likes to cook, so what they decided to do was get everyone into a Zoom call, and he sent them a list of ingredients. He cooked while we were supposed to follow along. Fucking kill me now, Jesus. It was supposed to be a social event with a cooking lesson. What went wrong was the guy really is not HGTV material. He didn't plan well in terms of his timing, and so everything was running really late. People were getting tired. Well, how do we do this? When do we do this? Everyone was asking 3,000 questions, it sounds like. Everyone was really polite about it, but you could tell they were getting frustrated. They were picturing a cooking demonstration they see on TV. No. It was getting to the point where people were dropping off the call because they were tired of waiting to eat. It should have been more well planned, or maybe somebody else helping him. This guy was doing this all by himself in his kitchen. I think it was 3.5 hours. No, hell no. Number 5, the office party that ended with chest hair on fire. I used to own a bar in DC. We had a company rent out a space for a holiday party one year. They were getting pretty smashed. It was an open bar, and we suddenly started smelling smoke. I sent a waitress to find out what was going on, and she reported that the men in the party were having a hairy chest contest, and the hairiest one lit his chest hair on fire, apparently on a dare. Needless to say, we threw a few folks out. Have you guys seen the movie? Is it called Office Party? Office Party 2, Horrible Bosses. It's the one where Jennifer Aniston is like the head of a company and her brother is an executive. Jason Bateman's in it. And they're trying to have this Christmas party. It was so good. I love that movie. Okay, number 6, the boss who ignored social cues. One time the boss had been drinking too much at the holiday happy hour. There was an activity where the team was going around the table and sharing stories from their past. Why in the fuck were you doing that? One of the employees stated they were a cheerleader in grade school during their story. The boss asked them to do a cheer and the employee didn't want to. The boss kept insisting and the employee kept refusing. It was really awkward. The team didn't know whether to laugh or change the subject. Oy. Yeah, alcohol can just do it. Number 7, the holiday party that broke an employee's trust. Okay, some dude is ridiculously drunk. I do not know this guy. I made the decision to walk him out because he was being unruly. He decided to stick his whole hand up my skirt and grab my butt. I think not. I gave up being civil and gripped this dude by the back of his collar and physically dragged him to the exit when one of the national account managers stopped me and asked me what I was doing. I explained the guy was too drunk and needed to go home. He said the guy used to intern there and he was okay. I then explained he physically assaulted me and for that alone he's out. This manager told me to my face that it was fine and this dude could stay. I looked at him incredulously. Yeah, I guess you would. This became a thing at the office. I was thrown into the category of having attitude and not being liked for the rest of my time with the company. And the icing on the cake, they made this dude come in and apologize to me after I said I never wanted to see him again because he made me uncomfortable, and that somehow made me ungrateful. This dude also applied to every job opening we had, and because I worked the front desk, I had to see him come into the office often, and I had to sit there in discomfort. Not to mention the multiple times he tried to connect with me on LinkedIn. I definitely lost all trust in the people I worked with from that moment on, and they continued to let me down until I resigned. Let me tell you, if anyone ever grabs me, a guy ever grabs me in an inappropriate way, and Bill gets wind of it, it's not going to be good, let me tell you. And the last one, number 8, the party so over the top, it's just too much. Gawker, and later Gizmodo, was famous for doing wild and crazy holiday parties. This is the tip of the iceberg. There was a guy dressed as a 19th century caroler in a pig mask standing on the buffet table playing a fiddle. What? There was a bubble bath in one of the rooms. I think there were some people in pink poodle fur suits as well. I was pretty uncomfortable with the whole situation. If the photo doesn't give it away. They have a photo you can click on. What the hell is that? So bizarre. No. Okay, so that was funny, right? So like I said, leave down below your funny holiday party stories, all of that kind of stuff, if you have any. So I hope you guys are all having a good Wednesday. The arbitration is very tedious and arduous today. It's not been a really great day. But we're at the lunch break and we're halfway through, so that's something. So, as always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.